Tower Hamlets is actually unique as a London borough. We've got Canary Wharf, which we're not that far from, which is the financial capital, and it's massive salaries, massive, very modern buildings. It has got some of the wealthiest people living and working in London based in it. And then you come to East India Dock and you come to other parts of the borough where there are such high levels of poverty. We talk in the UK about multiple indices of deprivation. Tower Hamlets is third in the UK in terms of the highest levels of deprivation. So you've got all this money over there, and then you've got 1 in 12 children are homeless. You've got households where not a single person in the household is working, and generations haven't worked. And so that kind of cycle of poverty. We have escalating levels of domestic violence in the borough, and that's all related to the poverty and the worklessness and everything else. And we have a large proportion of women who aren't economically active. And we're fast becoming one of the boroughs where the number of people from countries other than the UK will outstrip the number of indigenous white people living in the borough. It's a borough by day and night. At night, you've got all the very expensive bits, and you won't see a lot of sort of the normal residents. Then during the day, it's the poverty. They did tidy it up for the Olympics, but it didn't last very long. You know, that whole juxtaposition of the wealth and the inequality. There really aren't any other boroughs quite like it, and you can imagine the problems that then gives. There's a lot of gang-on-gang problems, but that's Bengali gangs against Bengali gangs. There's not the level of racism that there has been in the past, but there will always be undercurrents and pockets of racism. But Tower Hamlets does work really hard to try to deal with that. If third sector organisations such as our own aren't there to support them, these people fall through the cracks.
This centre was created 25 years ago by Bangladeshi women for Bangladeshi women. It was project for women from the local community. So whoever, and it's about integrating into this country. Things have improved, but I think there's also a lot of issues with prostitution in the back street, lots of drug dealing. You know, it's not a pleasant area in the evening. So.
There was a lot of talk about Islamophobia, and obviously, you know, events such as 9/11 and then the bombings in London, you know, but that kind of sparked all of that again. But most thinking people recognise that not all Muslims are fundamental. It's a particular group of people, some of whom will hide behind religion, some of whom will exploit it and use it, but they're not necessarily true religious believers. But bear in mind that the Muslim population globally is such a big population that I think, again, it's that lack of knowledge and awareness that breeds fear. If you ask them to identify their ethnicity, they will tell you that they are British Bangladeshis.